Just off the coast of Japan lies an abandoned island. From above, it resembles a battleship, but its true nature is far more chilling. Once bursting with life, now it's nothing more than a hollow shell, abandoned, decaying, and eerily silent. The inspiration for villain Raul Silva's deserted hideout in the James Bond movie Skyfall, the island figures in one of the most dramatic shots of the film. Locals say the wind still carries whispers through the shattered windows, that shadows move where no one walks. Some say the ghosts of miners still wander these halls, trapped in the ruins of a forgotten empire. A haunted city, built on coal. This is Hashima Island. You're watching Island Secrets, where we uncover mysterious islands and forgotten places. Today, we set foot on Hashima Island. What happened here that a city built for progress has now become a ghosted island. Let's uncover the truth before the ocean swallows it forever. Just 15 kilometers off the coast of Nagasaki, a small concrete island rises from the sea like a warship on patrol. That's why locals call it Gunkanjima, Battleship Island. Hashima is only about 480 meters long, yet once at its peak, it held over 5,000 people, making it one of the most densely populated places in human history. Surrounded by high sea walls, with no trees, no soil, and no escape, it was a world completely cut off, floating in the ocean. From above, it looked like a machine, but inside, a strange and isolated society, powered by coal, confined by concrete. How did this island come to be? And why was it abandoned so suddenly, left to rot like a ghost in the fog? It all began in 1887, when under the sea around Hashima, coal was discovered. Not long after, the powerful Mitsubishi Corporation stepped in, buying the island in 1890. What followed was one of the most intense and confined industrial booms in history. To mine the coal deep beneath the ocean floor, workers needed to live close by. But the island was just a speck, too small for a normal town. So they built upward. Towering concrete apartments began rising from the rock, stacking families on top of each other like crates in a warehouse. By the 1950s and 60s, Hashima was bursting with life. There were schools, markets, even rooftop gardens. Every inch was used. People lived, laughed, and worked, all on a slab of concrete in the middle of the sea. But life here wasn't paradise. It was survival. Below their feet, deep mine shafts stretched far under the ocean. Hot, dangerous, and always at risk of collapse. And above, a life confined by walls, waves, and the constant sound of machines. Hashima looked like a miracle of engineering, a floating city of the future. But life was much more difficult. The coal mines ran deep, some as far as a kilometer beneath the ocean floor. Temperatures soared. The air was thick with dust. Accidents were common, and not everyone made it back to the surface. But the darkest chapter came during World War II. As Japan's empire expanded and the demand for coal grew, Hashima became a prison in disguise. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, of Korean and Chinese laborers were brought here against their will. Forced to work in brutal, life-threatening conditions, many never saw freedom again. Their names were not recorded. Their stories were not told. And even today, the island's role in wartime slavery remains a subject of silence and controversy. Some believe the island itself still remembers, that the pain soaked into its walls lingers, that those who suffered here never truly left. After nearly a century of non-stop mining, the coal began to run out. And by the 1970s, Japan no longer relied on coal to power its future. Oil had taken over. In 1974, with little warning, Mitsubishi shut down the mine. Just like that, life on Hashima ended. Residents were given only a few days to pack. Families who had lived there for generations left behind furniture, photos, and memories. It was as if time had frozen. Everything still in place, but no one left to live it. Within weeks, the island was empty. No engines, no voices, no footsteps, only wind and the slow, relentless sound of decay. Today, Hashima stands in silence, its buildings slowly collapsing, its pathways overrun by nature. But some say the island is not truly empty. For decades, much of the island was off-limits. The island still carries the cries of prisoners and laborers. Some even tell stories of bodies buried in the foundations, of spirits trapped in the mine shafts, angry and forgotten. Visitors have reported sudden chills, equipment failing, and a heavy presence watching them from the ruins. For decades, Hashima was sealed off, left to crumble in isolation. But as urban explorers and filmmakers began to take interest, the island slowly returned to public attention. In 2009, Japan reopened part of the island for guided tours. And in 2015, Hashima was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List, not without controversy. For many, it was a symbol of industrial achievement. But for others, it was a dark reminder of forced labor and forgotten suffering. The island has even found a place in pop culture, appearing in documentaries and most famously as a villain's lair in the James Bond film Skyfall. Yet even with the cameras rolling, only certain areas are shown. Much of the island remains sealed. Hashima Island is more than just broken concrete and rusted steel. It's a place where ambition, suffering, and silence collide. A floating tomb of memory, where ghosts of the past cling to every corridor. Once a symbol of progress, now a monument to everything that was left behind. So the next time you see a lifeless island on the horizon, ask yourself, what was buried there? Who never left? And what stories are still waiting to be heard? Because every island holds a secret. If you found the video interesting, hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss our future videos. We will see you in another one.